Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl guy G, back with another video. Hello, welcome, a great big welcome to all my new subs, and of course a great big hello to my current subs. Hello everyone. So this is not the video that was supposed to be released today. The video that was supposed to be released, I had to stop it because somehow, some way, God placed it in my spirit. The universe placed it in my spirit to talk about this particular subject today. So this is why today's video will be rerouted and this one will be posted. If I look exhausted, I just got out of bed, so my face looked like this, but I did wash my face, scrubbed it really good. I have the lotion and stuff on my face. So let's talk. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Today's topic is about abuse and domestic abuse. When we talk about domestic abuse, and also there's two parts to this video. I will tackle the first part today, and tomorrow the second part will be released. But there's two parts to this video, and again, viewer discretion is advised, strongly advised. Okay, so let's talk about domestic abuse been done in the home. And the first part is this part that many of us don't like to even imagine or talk about, are men that are being abused in relationships. And the reason I decided to go part one with the men's section is simply because that's a subject that no one wants to talk about. But today, as we speak, and in our society, there are men that are being abused, whether it be physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse. That are men that, when I say physical too, that are men that are being body shamed. So let's talk about verbal abuse. There are men that are in relationship where it be a marriage or a partnership. There are men that are being abused verbally. Verbal abuse can come in all different forms. It can be from body shaming someone, belittling someone, constantly putting them down, and let them to believe that without you, they will not survive. And those abuse goes on every single day. And there's a stigma in domestic abuse. There's a stigma in abuse, period. And now you're talking about a man that has been abused. And we have statistics that's been reported. The reason I chose not to share those statistics because they're inaccurate. The reason they are inaccurate because I want to talk about the ones that are not being reported, the ones where these men are too ashamed to talk about it. And I'm not bringing this subject up to like put any women down, but it's been done and it needs to be addressed. It's not okay for anyone to be abused, whether you're a male or a female. That is not okay. And if you are a male that's getting abused, or you suspect that you may be getting abused, you need to seek help. There's help available for both men and women. There's help available. I will share a description, put a description down on the bottom of my video. I'll share one on my Instagram. You can even inbox me. My favorite number is 3. You can just say 3. Then we will talk. But if you are being abused, it is not okay. Whether you are a man or a woman, it is not okay. There are women right now that are beating their men, and these men are too embarrassed to talk about it. That is not okay. There are men that are being deprived of the bare necessity. There are men that can't even control what they put in their body. And these abuse are being done by those that quote unquote love them. These abuse are being done by those that quote unquote society deems normal. And they're among us. They're smiling with us. They go to school with us. They work with us. Women that are abusing men are among us. They look like you and me. They talk like you and me. They behave like you and me. But yet, I feel though as though we make a bigger fuss when it's a woman that's being abused. No form of abuse is acceptable. None whatsoever. Telling someone when they can talk to family is abuse. Telling someone what they can and cannot eat, that's abuse. Telling someone who they can and cannot speak to, that's abuse. Attempting to hurt yourself to make the other person feel bad, that's abuse. Attempting to put yourself in danger to keep said person around is abuse. And that's a form of abuse. You don't have to physically put your hands and punch someone for you to abuse them. Abuse is abuse, no matter how you look at it. Belittling somebody, yelling at somebody, embarrassing somebody constantly, that's abuse. And it's not okay on neither side, whether you're a male or a female. It is not okay. It is not okay. And I know this video, it's going to, not too many people is going to agree with me on this subject, that men do get abused, that men are abused maybe at a higher rate than women are. Not too many folks are going to agree with me with this subject. That is okay. But guess what? It exists in our society. It is still here. As I film this video, there are men that are being abused. And society won't make a fuss about it because it's not being reported. Do you know that abuse on a man is less likely to be reported than abuse on a woman? Part 2 will be abuse on a woman. Part 1 is abuse being done on a man. It's not okay. It is not okay. Now, if you have brothers, sisters, have them share this video. Now, if you have brothers, check on your brothers. Check on your strong male friends. Check on them. There are people that are in relationship that's not allowed to talk to family. That's abuse. That, my friend, is abuse. Trying to get someone to move far away from their family or the loved ones, that's abuse. Accusing someone of something you have absolutely no evidence or no knowledge of, that's abuse. And the abuse, sometimes people that's doing the abuse, maybe they've suffered some form of abuse, but that's a sign of mental illness, and we'll cover that in a way different video. But that is abuse. It's not okay. And if you have a son that is being abused by their significant other, you need to step in, because that is not okay. Abuse of any kind is not okay. And when someone is being abused, it's like the signs, when a man is being abused, the women tell them, you can't do better than me. I made you. Or they play the victim. They play the victim. Some women will fake their sickness just to get the man's attention. Or they will say, if you leave, I'm going to hurt myself. Or if you tell someone, I'm going to injure myself, and say that you did it. And because you are a man and you're much bigger than I am, you can't get away with it. Some women lie. After they beat the crap out of a man, they will do something to themselves and lie and say the man did it. And because we live in a world that quote unquote men technically are not supposed to be abused, is that we turn our face to it and that we give it absolutely no thoughts. Absolutely no thoughts. I am not a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist. I don't have, my background is not in mental illness. But with all that aside, if you knew or someone you know is being abused, please get help. Please get help. If you have friends, check on them. Whether they are male or female, check on them. A man will not come out and tell you that he's being abused. It's up to you to look for the sign. When the man is withdraw, like they start acting different than they were before, or they're always in a rush to go. They become socially awkward around family. They tend to look for signs from the abuser on how to behave, on how to sit, on how to talk, on how to act. They tend to do that. You need to pay close attention to that. Or they nervously laugh at things that are not funny. Or if the abuser make such a ridiculous comment, others will take offense to it, but they just try to downplay the situation. Pay close attention. Pay close attention to someone's weight. Pay close attention to that. Or the way they interact with others. Because when men is being abused, a lot of times they become very fragile. Anybody that's been abused is very fragile. But when a man is being abused, you just can tell. They become frigid. Frigid is the word. When I say frigid, is that if their phone rings, they get nervous. It's like they no longer control that. And you need to pay close attention to it. You need to pay close attention to it. And there's help. There's help. There's help. Please get help. And if you are a guy and you're watching this video and you are being abused, or you suspect you're being abused, reach out. Get help. Maybe you can't tell a family member because you're afraid they might judge you. Maybe you can't tell a friend. You're afraid they might judge you. But there are people out there that is available and ready to help. No questions asked. No questions asked. They will get you counseling. They will get you all the help necessary to build you up. But get help. As always, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting. And there will be a part 2 of this video where I talk about women that are being abused and that's in relationship. And that is absolutely not okay. That is absolutely not okay. Abuse on either side is not acceptable. And both parties need to be helped. Both parties need to be helped. I've been gracious. I've been fortunate that I never in any relationship had to succumb to any physical abuse. I'm grateful that personally for me, I've never, I've met players, I've met cheaters, I've met liars. I've dated liars, I should say. I've dated liars, I've dated players, I've dated cheaters. But I've been grateful enough that every man that my life has crossed paths with have respected me. And yes, we argue, but they have respected me and they've treated me with respect. And I can openly say with all my heart that I've never been abused by any man, and I am grateful for that. I am so grateful for that. Now, they might have had their own issues, don't get me wrong, but they all have been respectable enough. And I mean, even in an argument, no one has even attempted to try to, like, you know how when somebody says, I'm going to push you. I've been grateful enough that in that sense, the men that I've crossed paths with, those that I've dated have respected me. And I'm grateful for them for that. And I will be forever grateful to their parents for that, because although they've made other mistakes, but putting their hands on me is not one. And I've learned this as a child. My mother said it, my grandmother said it. Whether you are a man or a woman, it takes only one time, too many times. One time too many. If somebody puts their hands on you one time and you allow and you forgive them, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you made me do that. It's, like I have anger issues. You know how I act when I'm mad. It's your fault because you just be doing these things. No, that shit is absolutely unacceptable. No, it's not your fault. It's not your job to control someone's anger. No. One time. It takes only once for somebody to put their hands on you. Cut it loose. Get away. Get away. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you allow an abuser to put their hands on you one time and you don't walk away and you don't make that the only time they put their hands on you, you don't get away from the situation, honey, you just open a can of worms, okay, that you'll never be able to close. Don't ever allow someone to let you think it's okay for them to put their hands on you, that it's your fault if they put their hands on you. It is not your fault. It is not okay. That is a BS production. It's not your fault, and it is not okay. And don't fall for the flowers, for the tears. Don't do that. Don't do that. That is them trying to will you in. Don't fall for, oh, you're the only man that I've cared about so much. Like I've given you up. No, don't fall for stuff like this. No, that's how abusers act. No. If they put their hands on you once, or they attempt to push you once, stop it right then and there. Before I date any men, I always say to them, if you, at any time, we argue, and at any time you attempt, like if I feel you're about to push me, it's over. And I tell you that from the get-go. And I've been fortunate and blessed that every man that has crossed path that I've dated have treated me with the utmost respect. Not one of them, no matter how hard their childhood been, that has even attempted to lay their hands on me. And not only me. This says that abuse is not right. I will cover a second video, part 2, on women that are being abused. But I say this to say that no form of abuse is acceptable, whether it's been done on a woman or a man. I love you guys. Be kind to one another. And I can't wait for the people to come at me and tell me all this BS on how this is incorrect. I can't wait. Until then, take care and be nice to one another. I love you guys. And remember, there's help. Bye.